Ekaette had always been a strong woman. But what she experienced in Canada, being rejected by the man she had loved and trusted, left her deeply wounded. Dr. Williams wasn't just anyone. He was the only man she had ever loved, the one she had known since her youth. Back in Nigeria, Ekaette had remained loyal to him for 10 years. Despite his long absence and silence, she held on to the hope that one day he would return for her and their children. She had kept her heart and life devoted to their family, even when others questioned why she waited so long. But now, sitting on a bench outside the hotel with her children after being turned away from his home, Ekaette was overwhelmed with pain and uncertainty. "I never imagined this," she thought. "I sacrificed everything. I believed he remembered us. But I was wrong. Now I'm in a foreign country with no money and nowhere to go." When they returned to the hotel, their bags had already been brought out. The payment had expired. The staff informed her that they could no longer stay. "Mummy, where are we going to sleep tonight?" her children asked through tears. "Did Daddy really turn us away? What did we do wrong?" Ekaette sat quietly, unable to answer. She begged the hotel staff to allow her and her children to stay one more night, but they explained firmly that it wasn't possible. "This is not a shelter," said one of the hotel staff. "We understand your situation, but the hotel operates by bookings. If you can't pay, you need to leave." Ekaette sat outside the building with her children. The night was falling quickly. She opened one of her bags and brought out food items she had packed from Nigeria: crayfish, dried vegetables, stockfish, dried meat, palm oil, and a few spices. She had intended to use these to cook for her family once they reunited with Dr. Williams. She approached the hotel kitchen and pleaded, "Please, I don't need much, just a small pot and a burner. I want to cook something for my children. They haven't eaten and I have no money left." After some hesitation, the kitchen manager allowed her in, touched by her sincerity and desperation. Ekaette quickly began to cook using her own ingredients. The aroma of boiling stockfish filled the air. It was rich, familiar, and comforting. Soon, the scent drifted throughout the hotel. Many of the guests, particularly Nigerians and other West Africans staying there, came down asking what was being prepared. "I can smell real home cooking," one guest said. "Where can I get a plate?" The hotel's chef was surprised by the guests' requests. He returned to Ekaette, this time with a new plea. "Would you be willing to serve your dish to our guests? They're asking for it, and we'd like to compensate you." Ekaette agreed. She served the rich, flavorful soup with traditional sides she had brought from home. The guests were overjoyed. They complimented the taste, the authenticity, and the joy that came from finally eating something familiar so far from home. That night, Ekaette and her children were not turned away again. The hotel offered her temporary lodging, and soon after, a formal job offer. "You've brought something special to this place," the head chef told her. "We want you to join our team. You'll be in charge of preparing Nigerian cuisine for guests, and we'll also partner with you to bring in more ingredients from home." The offer included a $15,000 startup agreement and a monthly salary of $5,000. Ekaette was stunned and grateful. She cried again, but this time her tears were filled with relief and joy. Ekaette's life changed completely. Word of her story and her cooking spread quickly. The hotel's official social media pages shared her story, and soon it went viral. News outlets picked it up. Television stations reached out. And just like that, Ekaette became known across Canada as the Nigerian woman who turned adversity into opportunity. During an interview on national television, she shared her heart. "People see me now and smile," she said, "but they don't know what I've been through. I didn't come here looking for a job. I came in search of my husband, the father of my children. He left us many years ago. I was the one who gave him money to come here, believing he would return and take us with him. But when I found him, I realized he had moved on. We were left behind." The audience listened, moved by her honesty and strength. But Ekaette's story didn't stop there. She soon became a respected figure in the culinary community. The hotel helped her start her own catering and cooking business. She began training others in how to prepare West African dishes, particularly Nigerian meals. She had hundreds of clients and students, and her business flourished. She established a company that recruited and trained cooks for hotels, events, and private homes. Each person she trained earned income, and she managed the business with compassion and excellence. She bought a home, enrolled her children in school, built a growing business. She was no longer struggling. She was thriving. Dr. Williams, now back at home with his Canadian wife, began to see Ekaette's face everywhere, on TV, in newspapers, and online. He turned off the screen each time, unsettled. "She's everywhere. I thought she'd leave," he muttered. "She's going to ruin everything." Even his wife began to question him. "You said you didn't know her," she said. "But her story's everywhere, and people believe her. Were you really married to her?" He had no words. "If I find out you abandoned your family, I'll file for divorce," she warned. Panicked, Dr. Williams decided he needed to find Ekaette. Not to reconcile, but to persuade her to leave quietly before more truths surfaced. "I have to fix this," he said as he left the house. Ekaette had become a very busy woman. Her growing fame and responsibilities kept her constantly engaged, and even if she were home, Dr. Williams would have no way of knowing where she lived. However, he knew the hotel where she worked because he had seen it on television. Determined to meet her, Dr. Williams traced the hotel with a goal in mind, to convince Ekaette to return to Nigeria. He was deeply concerned that Ekaette's public storytelling might affect his marriage to his current wife. He didn't like that she had become popular and was sharing her journey across media platforms. "I can't let this continue. She came here without informing me, and now she's jeopardizing everything I've built," Dr. Williams muttered as he drove to the hotel. "Yes, I was married to her in Nigeria, but it's been 10 years. She should understand that things change. She should go back to Nigeria and let me live my life." When he arrived at the hotel, he parked and approached the front desk. Trying to remain calm, he asked the receptionist if he could speak to Ekaette, claiming it was for a business-related matter. The receptionist called Ekaette, who was busy training staff in the kitchen. "Someone's here to see you. He says it's a business matter. His name is Dr. Williams," the receptionist said. Ekaette's expression changed immediately. "Tell him I'm unavailable," she replied. "I don't want to see him." The receptionist returned and politely informed Dr. Williams. "I'm sorry, sir. Ekaette is currently unavailable." Frustrated, Dr. Williams responded, "But I heard her voice. Why won't she see me? Do you know who I am?" "I understand, sir," the receptionist replied calmly. "But she has the right to decide who she wants to meet." Dr. Williams, overwhelmed with emotion, ignored the warnings and ran into the hotel, looking for the kitchen. The receptionist followed, asking him to stop, but he didn't listen. Eventually, he found the kitchen and confronted Ekaette. "You think I wouldn't find you? You came to Canada and now you're trying to ruin my life?" he shouted. "I will do everything in my power to send you back to Nigeria." In a moment of anger, he raised his hand and struck Ekaette. What happened next changed everything. The kitchen staff rushed to defend Ekaette. They restrained Dr. Williams and called the police. "You can't harm someone we respect and care for," one staff member said firmly. The police arrived shortly after and arrested Dr. Williams for unlawful entry and assault. The case made headlines. His image was damaged further when his wife learned about the incident. "I can't be married to someone who behaves like this," she said. "He misled me, and I won't let him raise our children." She filed for divorce and was awarded custody of their children, along with most of the assets. Dr. Williams lost his job and his home. Everything fell apart. Alone in jail, he had time to reflect. "I've made terrible mistakes," he admitted to himself. I should have done right by Ekaette and our children. Now I've lost it all. Meanwhile, authorities reviewing the case discovered that Ekaette and her children had overstayed their visitor visas and were not legally permitted to work in Canada. You are required to leave the country within 24 hours, the authorities informed her. Shocked and heartbroken, Ekaette couldn't believe it. But I paid a visa agent a large sum in Nigeria. He told me everything was fine, she cried. Realizing she had been misled by the agent, Ekaette quietly prepared to leave with her children. She didn't tell many people, hoping to avoid shame. She returned to Nigeria and chose to stay in Lagos instead of Uyo, where she once ran her crayfish business. A few weeks later, while she was still adjusting to her return, she received a call from the hotel in Canada. "We need you," the hotel manager said. "We've tried contacting you and learned you returned to Nigeria. We would like to sponsor a new visa for you, this time a proper work visa. Would you come back?" Ekaette's heart lit up. "Absolutely. I've been deeply saddened since I left Canada. I'd be honored to return," she responded, holding back tears of joy. The process began immediately. Ekaette's popularity and reputation made her visa application smoother. Her children were also granted new visas. Before leaving again, Ekaette established a new food supply business in Uyo, hiring staff to send ingredients to Canada regularly. "Let's work together," she told her team. "I may be far away, but this business will keep us connected." Soon after, Ekaette and her children returned to Canada. The hotel welcomed them with open arms and even hosted a celebration in their honor. Her house, car, and belongings had been kept safe. It was as if she had never left. Her success story continued, and Ekaette's resilience became an inspiration to many. Thanks for watching. A big shout out to Israel Ushulor for generously giving me permission to share his amazing story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. It really helps the channel grow.